Hey, hey everyone. What up? I'm back. And we're gonna do some biceps. Notice how I have more weight on here? It's because more weight, less reps is the only way to do biceps on a preacher curl bench. Anyone that tells you any different, like pretty much my last, I don't know, 4 bicep videos are all null and void. Uh, I took advice from people that claim to be pretty much keyboard warriors, and yeah, and ideally I went along with it because it's less weight, more reps sounds great, but what it does is it gives you fucking tennis elbow, and I've been suffering for 3 weeks from it, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And come to find out, it's because of doing biceps. And every week it got worse and worse and worse because my biceps were getting stronger, but not much stronger to the point where I would need to put on more weight. I was still doing a shit ton of reps, but I was doing even more reps to rip my muscles. So after the 3rd week of doing a shit ton of fucking reps, to the point where I'm not even counting. I'm just like, and then not even recording. Like, I'm recording only a third of it because I talk too much. And yeah, long story short, I got bad tennis elbow on my right elbow. I guess getting old sucks, but these are easily avoidable things. That's why I do this. Not necessarily to teach people, but that's why I bodybuild, because I know how to bodybuild without injuring myself. The only time I actually injure myself is when I try to do fucking anything else, it seems. I have the worst I have my father's fucking French temper asshole fucking luck. That 5'9" motherfucker who pretty much has pissed off so many people that I've been paying for it ever since I was a young kid, because I was 16 years old when I started going to work. And they all had it in for my dad. They couldn't give my dad shit, but I was, 140 something pounds when I was 16. So they gave me shit. I was a lanky motherfucker for like half a year before I filled out after I had my growth spurt. My best friend Rich, when I went over his house like in midsummer, because it's funny how like the summer is like you have your growth spurt, and then you go back to school and everyone's like, oh my god, to like everyone. It's funny, it's like only during the summer people have growth spurts. It's fucking weird. I don't know if it actually is something to do with the weather and the way your body is, your mentality. Maybe it's the fact that like you don't have the pressure of school and you have complete freedom. So maybe like the lack of stress allows your body to grow. I mean, having stress makes you bald. So I know that's why. I mean, that's literally why I have a thinning hairline. Otherwise, I'd have a full, thick, fucking head of hair. Because, I mean, after I sell my house, my hair is gonna just start fucking. It'll be like, and it'll be annoying as shit. I know it. It's just because it's gonna be finally a time where I don't have any stress and I don't have to be in a location that the person I hate most in the world, which is the only person I actually genuinely hate, which is my father, knows where I live because this was his house before he decided to cheat on my mother and leave her for dead and let her die from cancer because he didn't do anything about all of her pains for all the years and just kept telling her to, clean the house. And when you have like an infant or a child, you literally have to hold their hand, or someone that's elderly, you have to hold their hand the whole fucking time until they're doing it themselves. That's the whole, it's like, Like the fact that my dad didn't help my mom lose weight after she had me. My mom had to do that by herself. And then she didn't lose all the weight before my dad knocked her up again. And then she then was a fat person. And then it was too much. And once you get to the point where you are a fat person, like where it's just boom, like your body chemistry changes and you like your innards grow, like your heart grows, everything, to the point where if you were to lose weight, you would have to get surgery because your body will just have too much skin. You'll never like get rid of it fully. Literally anyone that's gone from anything over 300 and say 50 pounds, that's say not a male and not young, has had to get some type of surgery afterwards, or else they gain weight back, right? Or you look like death, like Al Roker, for fucking forever. They have to get full body, tucks and lifts and everything when you lose that much weight. If you're like under the 350 pound bracket and you're not like only 4 foot something, you can lose it by just lifting weights every day, like I have been, and then also get jacked as fuck at the same time, to the point where I've had to take, literally this is the longest I've taken off in 6 months. You could check my YouTube channel. Like, I can't even tell you how. No, I'm not going to go and vent other than what I've said. I'm just going to show you the correct way to do biceps, the way I was doing biceps, but with a little less weight, because my little 10-pound plates are right here for when I do bench now, because my bench has gone up, and yeah. And so, shall it begins? Yeah, never extend past right here, ever. Ugh. It's all about the top of your biceps. Anyone who says anything about that is a fucking idiot. Idiots, idiots, idiots! You gave me fucking tennis elbow, you stupid motherfuckers with your fucking opinions. You're a fucking asshole. Yeah, just going from right here. Don't go past 90. Just keep it going. This is only biceps. This isn't your elbows and your forearms. The initial lift is elbows and forearms, but you substitute that with going in, like mounting yourself in the bench. So you go down, lift up, you get it up to here, then you plant your elbows, and then you plant your knees in the top, and then you pretty much arch your feet like they're in high heels. And you do a calf workout, and you do a bicep workout. Cut that part out. So you do calves, and you do real biceps. So you see, like that feels good. That feels like I almost ripped my biceps already. I don't have any pain in my elbow. And if you go back to my last video, literally after my first set, my entire right arm went fucking numb. You can see it. Like, if you go back and watch, you'll see it happen, like, live. Obviously, it's live. But seriously, you'll see it happen. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. Don't listen to anyone ever that you would never trade places with. I thought that I was doing something incorrect. I have way too much going on in my fucking life. I'm dealing with, like, trying to sell my house, buying a new supercar, which when you get a new car that's that expensive, you have to jump through a lot of fucking hoops. You got to go and get, like, you know, certain permits to own that vehicle. You have to go up to fucking wazoo with insurance. Like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, that is literally, by definition, racketeering. Because we have to drive on the road. Why shouldn't it be free to drive on the road? And why shouldn't someone else's fuck up cover your entire, whatever it is, no matter what? Because amount of money you pay to insurance is way more than it costs to go and actually replace whatever vehicle you hit, especially when you're around this area. The nicest car you will ever see is on the highway driving through it. Otherwise, the nicest car you will ever see is someone's custom vehicle that's going to and from a car show in the summer. But during the winter, you will not see a car worth more than 30 grand on the road. Like, I'm not talking about, like, how much they paid. They paid, like, probably 50 grand for those ugly pieces of shit. Yeah, most of the people in the fucking world, like, I can boldly say that because a Tesla is a perfect example. Most vehicles are fucking pieces of shit. And then when people are like, oh yeah, I got a Honda something, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, so if it's not, you know, a completely redone version of like an old Civic or an S2000 or, yeah, period. If it isn't one of those, then it's like, or some Integras are pretty cool. My next door neighbor had a pretty badass Integra. He put a JDM motor in it, and it was like the coolest fucking four-door sedan ever, and it had some balls. Like, I almost didn't notice the difference between that car when he had it all fresh, because someone came and stole it because it was the nicest car anywhere around here. Someone stole it out of his driveway. Like, it was the first car, but it was because he fucking was a rich kid and would go and try to fuck hot girls all the time. So he went and showed off his, car to everyone, and yeah, that's what happened. That's why someone came and stole it. If he, kept his car in the driveway and then only went to and from places he needed to go and didn't go off and show it off and, be like, ha, 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 and then pick up hot bitches and then leave with them. Because, yeah, he did work. Me and him, especially. We pulled some tail. But anyways, but it would always suck though, because after he couldn't hang out with girls for any length of time because he had a wandering eye, and he was like half gay. But yeah, which means he was a full-blown gay man, because there is no half or bisexual. So yeah, anyways, which, when you find out, like, years later, after, like, you spent so much of your youth with the person, it's like, what the fuck? And you think, like, oh, shit, the only reason why he did spend so much time with me is because he wanted to fuck me. And it's, like, really fucked up, because that's been my life. I can't even tell you how many friends I've had that were because they were attracted to me, that I thought were my friends, but they were just acquaintances, because after they've, spent so much time with me and then realized how unattracted to masculinity I am, and how I would freak out every time they would try some gay shit with me. Don't forget, like, I spent like a good decade being a Greek god, a sex icon. Like, I have gotten rid of most of my pictures, but I still have my profile pictures that I posted. But I didn't post, like, the 2 weeks after those photos where I would cut weight and literally, live on lemon water and I can't remember the concoction. But it was fucking awful, and I would never recommend it for anyone. And just to find out that I couldn't even place because I didn't do steroids, and they're like, wow, your muscles are small. And I'm like, yeah, how much do you lift? And they would say, and I would match them. And if that, more some. And then also, they would be like, okay, when's the last time you did your cycle? Always, always, always. Because, I mean, I was not shredded like everyone else was, because it's fucking impossible to get rid of that much fat and have that much muscle. Because the moment that your body, like, see, pretty much everyone would get ready for competing. So they would compete, and they would put their body, and I would too. I put my body through the most grueling fucking routines of just sweat, to, like, you're literally, like, lightheaded for, like, 3 or 4 days straight. And then you keep, like, having your ears ringing all the time. I mean, that started to happen after I started getting blows to the head when, you know, like, hard blows to the head, when I thought I was invincible afterwards. But, and just because of all the blows that I had when I was a kid, you know, a lot of that shit kicks in when you get older. Like, when your body's not invincible and you're an older person, it's not so, like, you know, impervious to disease and being injured like you are when you're younger and you're completely invincible. Like, so literally my injuries caught up to me, and new injuries did damage that I didn't expect would happen because of how, you know, I bounced back so much when I was younger, and cause and effect. Yeah, I have a headache every day, all day, and then ringing in my ears, and it only gets worse with my blood pressure, which gets pretty much worse when I talk about Democrats. And it doesn't bother me any other time, really. The only time it actually does bother me is when it's about Democrats, because they're fucking sick murderers that literally live amongst us and need to be kicked out of whatever public position they have because they're biased. They're terrible, fucking disgusting people because they do things because of their political beliefs and their political agenda. Like, people are like, don't, like, I've had people be like, holy shit, thinking like I'm one of those lunatics out there like them. Like, because they're like, oh, well, I'm this crazy, he must be this crazy too. That's why, like, literally, if you watch, like, MSNBC, like, or CNN, you'll see them literally start the talking point, and they'll bring up January 6th, which was doctored by MSNBC. Fully, that was their fault. And, or 60 Minutes, whichever. Not 60 Minutes, it was just I think it was just CBS News or whatever. One of those fucking fake news outlets before our president sued the shit out of him. Or, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, so, yeah, they go and bring that up, and then they'll go and just, you know, just say the dumbest shit. It doesn't make any sense. And then they think that, oh yeah, they would go and say, like, like, specifically the far right. and boom, that, like, that right there, that raises my blood pressure. That gets me sweating. That gets me my blood boiling, because there's no such thing as the far right. There's no such thing as liberals. There's the far left, which moved the dial over. It moved the, you know, it turned the page, you fucking stupid. See you next Tuesday, Karen. You awful. But yeah, there is no liberal. There's just Republicans and far left Democrat communists, because what they do is not, they're part of the Democratic Party to everyone in the world, but they do terrorist acts, which labels them a Marxist, or because they're creating chaos. So it's anarchy. But that would make them a communist. And because they're not, abiding by civilization. So that's just a fact of everything. And for some reason, I guess because there's been so many far left incidents that have just been blatantly just ignorant and stupid, and then has been bringing light on all the really sick motherfuckers who've been pulling the trigger and pressing the buttons behind the scenes. And that's why it's why the fuck is Obama bin Laden not in prison for the rest of his fucking life with his fucking manly ass wife, who owns him, because she's multiple times talked about how awful it is to be married to him, and he just keeps eating the shit. So the fact that he didn't punch her the fuck out on live television after she said that it was a tough decade living with him, he should have knocked her fucking teeth out. I don't care. I do not believe in violence on women, but that ain't a fucking woman. It's just fucking saying that a dude that has been on hormones for a couple weeks and puts on a wig is a fucking man. No matter what. No matter what they even try to do, if they try after puberty, it's physically impossible for them to ever have any full traits of being a woman unless they spend $1 million on plastic surgery, and then they'd still look like a ghoulish creature. But yeah, if you can catch it before you go through puberty, which means also you're doing something that your brain's not developed enough to make a decision for. So ideally you have from 18 on, and then if you don't do it then, you're totally completely fucked, and you're gonna be a freak no matter fucking what. So yeah, there's that. And here's another set. Ah! Yep. Plant both. Okay. Focus. Alright, do one more set and then some hitting some peaks. Make my biceps taller, because that's a fact. That's what happens when you work the top of your bicep. Y'all motherfuckers don't know. You don't know shit. Stupid motherfuckers. Keep your opinions to yourself, okay? I am doing it. Don't go and share your fucking opinion. I tried it out, and fuck you for doing this damage to my right elbow. Alright, sorry about that. That was incredibly unprofessional. I said I wasn't going to talk about it. So, I take back what I just said, in case my editor decides not to fucking edit it. He's not gonna. So, well, that would fall under, not editor, but producer. But yeah, so anyways, if you want to go and do lightweight, if you want to fully extend, all the fucking power to you. But as I've proven over the last month, and then some, it feels that will create tennis elbow, and I also was getting, I was starting to get forearm splints. But they weren't bad enough for me to complain because they were healing quick enough. But yeah, so you don't fucking fully extend. You go and you pretty much do this as I'm doing. And normally I say do as I say, not as I do. That is completely how it is right now. If you want to go and leave a comment or say anything, try to give me advice, whatever, all the power to you. But I probably won't fucking implement it in my workout ever again. I just had way too many people, like a bunch of people, go and tell me the same fucking thing about, because for some reason my bicep routines are the only fucking thing that really gets serious attention. You know, when you look, like, it's like literally the top like 6 or 7 viewed videos that I have on this channel are all bicep routines. So so again, I apologize for saying fuck you to people that share their opinion. I want you to share your opinion, all the more comments, everything. Do whatever you want on the page. You can talk shit, fucking say anything you want. I don't give a shit. But I'm telling you, I'm either not gonna read it, or I am just not gonna fucking pay attention. Like, that's just, it's it. It's fucking over. I'm done ever fucking listening to someone else. I'm the smartest person I know. I am all around, like, in life. I wouldn't trade places with anyone purely because they don't have my exact body, and I wouldn't change my anatomy in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't be an inch taller. My hands wouldn't be even like a quarter of an inch long, like bigger, or any part of my body. I would not change the dimensions at all. The only, I mean, there's like one superficial thing that I don't like about myself, but you and anyone else in the world will never fucking really notice. So I can't really say that I would trade places with anybody, because I would just want to be me and have what they have, which is really just money. And that's it. Because I would do a way fucking better job of having that money, spending that money, living with that money, like, and sharing that money. Like, because I would be able to share it and still hold on to way fucking more money than any of those cocksuckers. They fucking just spend and spend and spend on the ugliest, dumbest shit ever. I would literally be a minimalist and have like $1 billion in my bank account if I could. And then I would just have like the sickest fucking garage ever, and then just pick pretty much 7 of my favorite cars to exist, and then boom, because otherwise you can't drive it. You can't drive them all. So what's the point of having it? And if you're gonna get another one, sell it and then get another one. Like, yeah, that's what I would do. I would just have a 7 car, like an 8 or 9 car garage, so I can have room to roam. And well, yeah, and also so I can, have like the side where the cars sit, beautifully untouched with like a piano that plays itself, and then the other side would be for working on it, and then then the other half would be the viewing area where you get to hang out, and then pretty much that would be like my living room outside, my man cave, my ultimate man cave. It would be my official man cave, even though because women have ruined the dating circuit, I'll probably still be single, and that won't be my fault. It'll be the women's fault. And again, I have to go and bring this up. I'm not a misogynist. I am very chivalrous, but I have not come across, and I won't just automatically treat a girl terrible because like a majority of women are terrible. I will give a woman a chance. It only takes most of them just a couple seconds to show their true colors, or really just they have to open up their mouth and then you hear their mannerisms, and boom, you can tell what type of person they are. So yeah, you you don't go and do a bunch of reps when you're using your arms, because you use your arms for fucking everything. So my rule of do as I say, not as I do applies to previous videos. Now it doesn't apply because I am doing biceps correctly now. If anything, I should go and put the heavier plates on here so I could do even less reps. Don't ever go past 90 fucking degrees when you're doing biceps, unless like it's like almost nothing weight. Don't do it with sets like that you're supposed to do like reps of. Don't do that shit. Literally 3 bicep or 4 bicep, maybe 5 bicep workouts ago, because I don't know, because it seems like, you know, I lose track, because to me it's just another workout, but everyone seems to only pay attention to that. Like, to me it's like, you know, a year ago like or not a year ago, but a month ago, and it feels like a year, because I've already done so many different body parts since. But yeah, if you go to like, I think the 5 bicep routines back in my list, probably in the 80s or something. Not the era. And you'll see the comments of everyone, like, you know, not everyone, because that wasn't even that's like nothing compared to the people that have reached out to me or talked to me about fully extending and doing less weight and more reps and all this shit, and telling me how to avoid pretty much everything that happened. So I did, and it all fucking happened, even though I said it was gonna happen. And it's fucking fundamentalist, man. These fucking people out there that think their fucking opinions are right, and they aren't intelligent enough or have the commitment to go and test them out or try them out for long periods of time. It's like all these fucking get rich quick people. Like, the fact that anyone pays attention to like 90% of any type of influencer ever, like the moment someone says like they're an influencer, I immediately do not want to have any influence from that person ever, because if that's their trade, then that means that they are guiding, because unless they've been like, you know, doing what Charlie Kirk did, they are guiding everyone to death. They're just Democrats that are just fucking, you know, going along with the masses of mass murder. And yeah, whoever has the most money, which the Democrats stole $300 trillion from American taxpayers. So boom, they're the richest fucking side. That's why all the fucking Hollywood elites, or whatever the fuck they used to be, they're not elites anymore. Most of them are just raging lunatics like Mark Ruffalo and Robert De Niro, which is such a shame, because I worshipped Robert De Niro up until like a year ago, and now he's just some stupid bitch. Yeah, Robert De Niro, you're a stupid fucking bitch. And that's very professional, because what I want to say is way worse, and I can't really say it. It'll get monetized. It'll just be like age restricted immediately if I said what I want to say about him and Mark Ruffalo. Those fucks. Anyways, because I don't really give a shit about them, I just have to, you know, forget the fact that Robert De Niro made one of the greatest films ever fucking made, which is Godfather Part 2. And then Casino. I mean, even Goodfellas was fucking amazing. But then when you see Casino, you're like, okay, well, they made Goodfellas like Goodfellas is a poor man's casino. So, yeah. Because Goodfellas is mostly them talking about the mafia, and Casino is the mafia. So that's why Goodfellas, that's why people they're like, hey, how do you rate, it's like a common joke when it comes to mafia. If you go and say anything that relates anything. You go and say, how do you rate Goodfellas? It's like a common inside joke for anyone that's ever seen like every mafia project ever been produced. You immediately, a lot of it's garbage, especially in the last couple of years. Pretty much after James Gandolfini died, like hundreds of mafia related projects have come out, and I think only one of them was any good at all, and he was in it. It wasn't released until after he was dead for like 6 or 7 months. So, which was Rob the Mob, and that's because it was I think the last movie Michael Pitt ever did, and he was in Boardwalk Empire. So Boardwalk Empire was like how you got over The Sopranos, because it was like I watched The Sopranos when Boardwalk Empire was airing, and then after it ended, I was just like, what do I even do with myself? Because I've watched the best entertainment ever. Like, everything's gonna, no matter what, feel like a poor imitation in The Sopranos. So, of The Sopranos, everything. Like the worst one ever was Breaking Bad. That was the worst imitation of The Sopranos fucking ever. Fucking ever. It was awful. Walter White was not a lovable character. He was not an anti-hero because he was never heroic, ever. He was just less of a cunt. Less of a selfish asshole. Tony Soprano wasn't a selfish asshole. He did things for the good of the masses if he ever had to do anything horrific. He'd weigh the numbers. Like, everyone's all upset about Chrissy being whacked. But, if he was, driving with his baby in the car, that baby would have been dead. So, yeah, in a couple months, he could be high again, thinking it's cool because he just got, the boss just let him get away with being, not overdosing, but being too high to be behind the wheel. And, yeah, and he could just get even more comfortable like every fucking addict does. And, yeah, he just would go out and do it again, and his daughter would get killed. That was the whole fucking point. That's why when Tony looked in the back seat and saw that from the wreckage, what happened was a tree branch went through the back window right through the baby seat, and no other damage happened to the car. So it was a symbol. It was symbolism. That's why Christopher had to go, because he had fucking time after time after time after time where he was fucking high on the job and not necessarily fuck shit up, because he would have been whacked a long time ago, but fucking made life harder for everyone, or fucked himself over. But yeah, he goes, and then just the fact that he made it. He became like, a capo. He was like second in charge because Tony is like his uncle. He's like his father, pretty much. And yeah, that's why it is so fucked up that he had to do what he had to do. But it's like, people are like, oh, I don't care. Like, he shouldn't have, No, he had to. Just like he had to with his cousin, which is, one of the greatest fucking writers ever, because Steve Buscemi wrote his entire character, made himself Tony Blondetto, and wrote himself into the show, and he made a huge impact. And then, yeah, Tony had to take care of him too, because he just wanted to ruffle things up. And when it comes to the mafia, quiet is best. Like, it's anything that's noisy is bad for business, and that's just a fact. And stupid motherfuckers, they play stupid games, they get stupid prizes. So yeah. And yeah, people are upset about Adriana. Adriana lived way too long for what she was doing. And then, yeah, But so yeah, this was mostly just a rant about how Robert De Niro is a joke. Even in the first episode of The Sopranos, the pilot, um, the priest is coming over all the time to enjoy Tony's entertainment center because they just got like a truck. Well, a bunch of DVD players fell off the back of a truck, and so they all got their own, and because it was like hot technology back in the early '90s, and yeah. So the priest comes over, and because like they were like with rich families, for some reason they always like have strangers around. I don't know why, but rich families just have fucking strangers around, but they're grifters. They're just there because of their fucking money. And so the priest comes around because he wants to fuck the wife because she gets no attention because Tony's out running the world, and or well, North Jersey, and at that point, and pretty much, yeah, isn't home. So yeah, he goes in, like there's like someone rattles the window, and then Carmela goes and grabs an AK-47. He's like, oh jeez. And she's like, shh, like goes out there like fully ready to go to war with like any type of anyone who was trying to break in, or any like there could have been like a group of like 20 guys out there, and she was ready to mow them down. It was hilarious. And yeah, it was obviously just Meadow trying to like break back in. But he goes and says, how does Tony rate Goodfellas? Because she goes and he asks her like what Godfather does he like, number one or number two? And she goes, oh, he really enjoys one, but he ultimately prefers two because two was the masterpiece. Two was, one was the coming of Al Pacino as the Godfather, and still not knowing his place, and like bad shit happening. And then the second one is pretty much him coming to rule and becoming the most powerful man in New York. And yeah, so that was like also ultimately a way fucking better movie. And that's when they go back. She says that her favorite part was when they go back to Sicily, which they go back in time to Sicily with his father, who was played by oh my god, the Godfather in the first one. Why am I blanking on his name? I just had it and I lost it. I think let's do a set of biceps. Sorry I'm talking so much. Marlon Brando. do one more rip with my right arm. That's bullshit. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, a little advice. This, I've been, because I did it. I couldn't help myself. I bought a back machine. It's for my triceps. So I can do, hopefully I get here before I do triceps. And I can do, flare pull downs like this. And then over the head pull downs. Those are the best tricep workouts. They beat the dip. I can't even, because that's how you rip your triceps without giving yourself fucking tennis elbow. Because you don't have to go and do a lot of reps. You just gotta be in the correct position. You gotta have, like, the right, well, you gotta have your frame right, and you gotta you gotta do it correctly. And even if you're sloppy, you're not overdoing it, because the weight is gonna be too heavy. It's not like biceps, when I go down and weight with curls and dumbbells, it's not like that at all, because you can't get sloppy, really. I'm contradicting myself, but what I'm saying is that it makes you have correct form by just being a cable and only coming from one spot. So as long as you face the opposite way, you can't fuck up these, and you can't go and fuck up these because you're standing in front of it. And no matter what, it will just, build up 2/3 of your arm. I can't fucking wait. So also, I did some research, because I bought all of this shit from the three brothers, their parents, because they were like fake fitness gurus. And I know it was started off because the dad needed to go and make himself more muscular because he was a correctional officer. But he was the biggest pussy in the world even after he got, muscular. Oh, you could put, you could put a dog in a fight, but you can't put the fight in the dog. But yeah, so they sold me this, except for, the entire bottom rack, which I had to buy myself, and I had to buy the rack. It was just the top. And it was this exact setup, this exact fucking thing. I looked online. You could buy, if you buy a set of these, it'll cost you $200 and something, $250 for a set of 50 pounds. Around there for a set of, pretty much those. And, yeah, so SolidWorks, or Body Solid, or whatever the fuck it wants to be. I think it's SolidWorks. Body Solid is that bench. But yeah, SolidWorks will sell you every piece of workout equipment I have, including the stuff in the garage, which is a Smith machine and hyperextending machine for your lower back, which I haven't needed because of that, which I will then need to start doing when I get my back machine. But yeah, which I'm pretty sure has to go right here. So yeah, either that and then I have to get rid of that dresser. And I got to do that anyways because I'm selling my house and I don't want it anymore. Even if it is a collector's item. So all I need is that little shit dresser, because I hang everything. I hang my clothes, because when you fold it and you put it in a dresser, then it fucking, after a month, it starts to smell like the dresser. Whether the dresser smells good or bad, it just smells like it. And also, they get folds. The clothes get folds. You put a shirt in there and you fold it up. It's going to have a fold right here. And it's not going to go away. Unless you like sweat your ass off and then it actually changes the properties of the fold of the shirt. Anyways. 35s. See, these are okay to fully extend because I rock my body with it. I don't fully extend. I mean, these are okay to seem like you're fully extending is what I should have said. Cut that part out. So, when it comes to dumbbells, it's okay to go all the way down when you're doing your curls and when you're doing other lightweights, just in general. Because that lightweight, as long as it's not pressure pointed, which on a preacher curl bench, like, so if I stand up and was to go and do like curls with like do sets of curls, yeah, we could do what I was originally doing, not on a preacher curl bench, standing up, but it would be a lot less weight too on top of that. It would probably only be the bar plus maybe 15 pounds on each side, not like 40 pounds on each side like I had for sets. So it was like I think just about 105 pounds or something like that. And yeah, and then I was curling that and doing sets of 10 or whatever, and then I'd have to do a shit ton of reps because my biceps were not ripping. So when you're doing lightweight, it's okay to do a shit ton of reps. And with bicep curls, the reason why I would burn out and do a shit ton of just curls like this is because there's no pressure being like, I'm not arching any pressure on the elbow. I'm just going from, I use even range of motion to help get my arms up to here, so I'm not fully, extended when I go to do the curl. That's how you get, forearm splints, and you won't get elbow issues because you're not, using like a point where you can pretty much pivot off of. You're not using a pivot point. That's the word I was looking for. So on a preacher curl bench, you only go heavy and you only do forearms. That's just what I recommend. And I'm not even gonna fucking bother doing forearms because that's still too much pivot point on my elbows. That's still too much. That's still not pivot point, but that's too much pressure on the point of my elbow to be. Fuck it. Just don't do it. Okay? You're gonna do a lot of reps. Make sure if you're gonna do it with a bar, make sure it's just like the bar. Or it's which is the same thing as this. It's just dumbbells. Which, okay, so I looked it up online. You could buy just regular, non-Bodyworks, which are, they're pretty much, I have to give Bodyworks credit because I've had the workout equipment and I haven't used it, for the full time that I've had it, but I've used it for probably 3/4 of the time that I've had it, which is about, 20 years. Over 20 years. I bought it before I even moved out of this house. I just kept it there because I was buying a house. So I moved it from there to my house instead of to here. And then to my house. But yeah, which was crazy. Because while I had to go up the road, and this is back when I worked my ass off, so I still got high, and they were smoking a blunt, and yeah, I pretty much got really burnt, and then yeah, and then my dad was just a total douchebag, and then was like, at the same time, semi putting himself in my shoes, but not completely, not enough to matter, because he was still being a douchebag to me. And in that situation, no one but your father's gonna make you feel any calmer, because when you go and you do things as a family, who's in charge of making sure everything happens correctly? It's the father, or at least it was when I grew up. When there was men in the household, and women didn't marry the state and just kick men out because they were good looking but total shitty people. Like, all you fucking single mothers out there, it's yourself to blame, unless that person died and it was completely not their fault. But if it was from their own negligence, or if they put themselves in a position where they got killed and it wouldn't have happened if they weren't there, then still, it's your fault, or your fuck up. You chose a person that made poor decisions. Like, it's your fucking fault. People put people through way more of a ringer, and it's only about money. They don't care about anything, like, what would happen if, like, the person lost all their money. They don't think about any of that shit. Or if something happens and they would be in a wheelchair or need to be taken care of, like be nursed back to health or whatever. Say they break their leg and they have to be and it's like really bad or something. They break one leg and sprain another or something, and they have to be waited on. But yeah, so people, it's funny because girls don't even look at the shit that matters. They only just care about how much money you have. And then the women that don't care, you don't want to be with them because they're gross. So it's like, what the fuck? It's a lose-lose when it comes to being a male. Like, men are, like, people, it's like all over the news, mostly fake news, because the only thing they know is how to hate the president and just gossip. And their biggest issue right now is the fact that men don't want to date women anymore because they're fucking lefty-loosies. And everyone wants a righty-tighty, They want that shit to be tight and clean. They don't want some loosey, juicy, fucking fatty. I just came up with that. It just came to me. Some loosey, juicy fatty. They don't want that. No man wants that, ever. No matter what any man says, they don't want a loosey, juicy fatty. Unless they have some fat girl fetish. And then they're fucking weirdos. So yeah, I guess just enjoy your fucking weirdos, because it's all you're gonna get. I can't even tell you how many fucking fat bitches have totally catfished me. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So that's why I started this whole YouTube channel. So I can literally show that I work my ass off for this. All this. And unless they're going to do the same fucking thing, and they're overweight, and they aren't trying as hard as I am, get fucked by someone else. Yeah, it's a good bicep workout. Feels good. My elbow doesn't really hurt like anymore than it already does. It feels fucking good. Yeah, motherfucker. Again, I apologize to people, like, my elbow's healing, but if it didn't heal, then yeah, I would be saying a lot of harsh words to you on a regular basis. But because I just had a successful bicep workout, I'm going to go and do my final rip, my final whatever the fuck, with some 15-pound dumbbells. And that'll be done. And yeah, look at how fucking awesome my arms are. Ugh! Yeah, motherfucker. Oh yeah, and don't think that I actually took a week off, like, from lifting. I did squats twice and abs 3 times. But they're in the garage, and I just, it was cold as shit, and I just did not want to go and set up a camera and wear an outfit that I looked sexy in. I just wanted to be bundled up and not freeze to death after I started to sweat. Because it's 0 degrees outside right now. And with the wind chill, it's like negative 20 something. Because it's windy as fuck outside, because we're about to get another fucking snowstorm. Ah! I fucking hate this location. We get hurricanes worse than any other place because we get them every year. All winter every year. And places that are in other places, they have horrific hurricanes, and it just does horrific damage, widespread fucking carnage and chaos. But here, it will just take down fucking 4 or 5 fucking trees in someone's yard. Like, everyone's yard. Like, I have literally made it through the skin of my teeth with this last year, 2 trees falling in that exact spot right next to my garage, completely missing my baby in there. But I moved my baby over to the other side of the garage, and I got her all under a tent, and I also have a system, like a thing kind of set, like a bungee system set up, so in case the roof caves in, there's another way of catching it. And I also got like a tarp up there, and it's silly, it's almost embarrassing, but I know it'll work because I did the physics and the engineering of it all, so I know it's going to work, because if I do something, I whole ass it. I don't half-ass anything, so I know it's going to work. But I just hope I'll never fucking need it, because I'm going to have to sell this place, like, in a couple months. So, yeah, so that's mostly what I've been doing, and at the end of the day, I just want to fucking go and work out, and then I can't fucking just, like, while I'm enjoying myself, go and do a workout, because my elbow fucking hurts like hell. And what I really want to do is take a bunch of painkillers and not feel like, I literally have not made it through a night of sleep without waking up feeling my arm was too closed and my elbow hurt from that, or my arm was too extended and my elbow hurt from that. I have not gotten a full night's sleep because of elbow pain. So I literally have to wake up and take like anti-inflammatories. And so that's why today is the first day that I have lifted in literally a week. I'm hoping that when I post this video, it will only say 7 days. So it'll be exactly 1 week. And yeah, and if it wasn't for having legs and also having a lot of shit to do around the house, and I'm also painting my fender because I bought a new fender, and the guy's like, oh, it's mint condition, and it's not. It had a little chunk taken out of it, which then rusted really badly. So I had to go and sand that whole spot. It didn't rust bad because it was just surface rust. Ultimately, I got rid of it completely. But I had to go and sand a sizable chunk. It's not like going and taking a little paintbrush and dabbing it on a couple spots that no one will ever fucking see unless they stare at it. I have to fucking repaint half a fender. So don't fucking trust people that don't have fucking pictures. Yes, you'll probably get it for $77 is what I paid for it. But I had to drive an hour and 15 minutes to fucking get there. So ultimately it cost me probably, close to $100 or whatever. And that was because I was having a lot of fun on the highway. And I took a 370Z like that. I fucking walked by him. And the dude was like, whoop, whoop, whoop! He even had a 2-step clutch, because he blew fucking smoke, and like, not smoke, but blew flames and smoke. He obviously, he wasn't smoking bad, but he's definitely beat that car. That's why when I bought my car, I had to make sure that it was driven by a person that just everydayed it, or once in a while, that not anyone that had any modifications whatsoever. Because the moment that you modify that car, it's like the biggest red flag in the fucking world. It means that this pedal has gone to the floor many times, which has loosened up the motor. What you want to do if you buy any type of project, anything, it doesn't really matter how many miles on it. It depends what kind of miles, the quality of miles. A car that has 120,000 miles that was babied is way tighter than a car that has 80,000 miles but was beat to shit every day of its life. So you have to look at it. Like when I bought my Mustang, it literally had a crate motor in there that only had 35,000 miles on it, and the whole rest of the drivetrain was all replaced because of needing a short throw shifter for the TKO transmission, which is what I was looking for. I was looking for the 600 horsepower TKO transmission. No, it was a 600 foot-pounds of torque, which is, I think it's like 500 horsepower or whatever, or 450 or something like that. It can handle, but you can definitely go over that, as long as the torque doesn't go too much over. But that's the whole thing about those cars, is they have so much fucking torque. That's why it's like, yeah, they don't have that as much horsepower as, like, another car that it would be compared to, like the 350 or the 370Z. They compare the two. But one, the 370Z weighs like a ton more, like an entire ton more, almost 2 tons more, and has 350 horsepower. The Mustang only has 235. If you go and put, underdrive pulleys, an electric fan, aluminum radiator, and you put a full headers, high flow cat, H pipe, or I did that. I'm gonna get no cats now, and I'll probably get an X pipe instead of an H pipe. I have a BBK high flow cat H pipe, but that was because my car wasn't 20 years old yet, and I had to take it through emissions. So yeah. And then get yourself some Flowmaster 40s, because they started making them again, and they're the sexiest muffler there is. And they're like made for the 5.0 engine. There's nothing sexier. Nothing. Literally, there's nothing sexier than that offbeat V8 when it has a Flowmaster 40 set up. You can do whatever you want with the rest of the exhaust, as long as it's got Flowmaster 40s. But yes, so yeah. So, anyways, that car's a bitch, because I can't fucking just replace parts on it like willy-nilly. Like, every part has to be special ordered. But on my new supercar, people that had it were a bunch of rich fucks, and they wrapped them around trees. And because the car's cool, I bet a lot of them were fucking young adults or kids, because they wanted to show off and get tail. I mean, just like that fucking midget kid that actually pulled girls that were like hotter than any girl that I've ever been with, and the guy's a fucking troll. He's like literally, I say guy, but I want to say kid, because he'll never be over 5 feet tall. So he's a child. He's like one of them anime kids that just never grow up, or those girls in anime that seem like they're 12 years old but they're like 40. Do some Arnold Carols. Ani. And again, everything I do originally, I learned from Ani, and only Ani, the godfather of bodybuilding. The only man to ever win Mr. Olympian 10 times. The only man to make an entire life out of being a bodybuilder whilst not being a bodybuilder. Like, he became one of the biggest action movie stars. Not one of, the biggest. Not one of. He was the biggest. Not just by the fact that his arms were bigger than everyone's, but, well, every part of him was. Like, his chest were like fucking rigid. Like, they were flapjacked because he was on crazy steroids, but they were fucking impressive. He had like the most impressive pecs, I think, like out of any bodybuilder ever. Because they look natural. They didn't look like they were on, like, you know, juice. They didn't look like flapjacks until after he stopped doing the juice. But even then, he was such a bad motherfucker in Terminator. It was like, who cares? In Terminator 2. He's still a bad motherfucker. Ugh. That's why I know that Chris Pratt married fucking whatever her name is, Schwarzenegger, for Patrick Schwarzenegger. No, for to have Ani as a second father. I guarantee it. It's like literally, it's like marrying the Kennedys, because he was married to a Kennedy. I mean, technically it is, because his daughter is a Kennedy. Like, her last name's Schwarzenegger, but she's a Kennedy. So it's like, fuck yeah, he did that for the fact of who she was and who she was related to. I guarantee it. There's no way you go from Anna Faris, who has an amazing personality and is incredibly pretty, and probably one of the most, like, fun person. I mean, well, for all we know, she's probably, like, you know, one of them women that just lay there. But she probably is, like, the most fun in the bedroom out of, like, 90% of the women out there that don't do adult work and already know what they're supposed to do. She seems like the type of girl that would have done all that shit on purpose. I mean, I can't even tell you how many fucking scenes she's had where she's gotten too aggressive in that situation. And she's like, come on! And the guy's like, she's like way out of his fucking league. And wait, that was actually in one specific movie. What movie was that? She was like, come on! And she was like tearing his pants off. And then he like, I think he like kicked her in the chin or the nose or something, broke her nose or something. What movie was that? And it wasn't her. No, it was a different girl. No, she did do that. But that wasn't that scene. She was, like, sex crazed, but that wasn't that scene. Was that in anger management? I can't remember. This is Bodybuilding by Holobic. I'm sorry for wasting your time in the last 10 minutes. Here's some pump. I'm probably going to do one more set, but the video's an hour long already, so yeah, motherfucker. Oh yeah, like my bruises from being so fucking angry about my elbow. I've been just like grabbing it all the time because I can't, like, you know, pivot on my elbow, because if it overextends or under, well, gets to here, which I can't do because I, you know, did biceps. So yeah, it means I did a good workout. You can't touch shoulders. If you can't touch your shoulders, you got a good pump. It's the rule of any bicep workout. You can't. Like, it's not like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm gonna try. Even doing that, no matter what, you can't, even if you wait 5 minutes, well, not 5 minutes, probably like a minute or so, otherwise your blood will be completely out of your bicep. But you cannot touch your shoulders. Like, see, like, they don't go that far. They don't do it. All right, it's Bodybuilding by Holobic. I'll see you next time.